Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a collective reading for your highest good. I hope that you're all having a good day today. And remember, because this is a general collective reading, some things may apply to you and some things may not. Take what resonates and leave the rest. What energy is the collective in today? We have the Empress. Somebody is feeling blessed, abundant. This is a beautiful energy. Okay. We have the Page of Swords here. Curious. I'm feeling curiosity, learning something new, looking at something very clearly and understanding. Some new understanding here. And this is what is influencing this beautiful energy. All right, what needs to be recognized by the collective? We have the Knight of Cups. Ooh. Somebody coming in with sweet messages. Oops. Okay. What's the Crossroads? We have the Eight of Pentacles coming out in reverse. Somebody is not working hard. This is someone who is not trying at all. Not putting their best foot forward. Making terrible decisions. This is someone who is not focused. Okay. And this is in the position of a decision that needs to be made, a shift that needs to be made, a choice. Okay, what's the lesson? Ooh, the lesson here is the Nine of Wands in reverse. The Wounded Warrior in reverse. So this is no longer allowing yourself to be wounded. Okay. This is coming out of survival mode. This is I'm getting this is you are no longer in survival mode, and that's the lesson here. Ooh, and on the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Pentacles. Someone is feeling left out in the cold. All right, so let's grab another deck and get right into this reading. I'm going to use the Light Seers today. So you are feeling blessed, abundant, beautiful, creative. The Empress is all of that. She is truly seeing life from a very abundant place and feeling like there's nothing impossible for her. She carries the universe in her crown. The stars, all the stars of the universe are in her crown. So you are in a very good place. But it feels like it's because you learned a very valuable lesson. Or you came out of some place, some situation that was not working for you. All right, tell us what we need to know about the Empress. What does the collective need to understand about the Empress energy? We have the Four of Wands. This is celebration. This is sometimes the four. This is coming together, for this could be a gathering. This could be an inner celebration. You celebrating your stability. With the fours, I consider them stability. Some form of energy that affects your stability in some way. And what we're looking at is celebration here. Celebration that you are in a stable place. What else? We have the Hierophant, a teacher. So you have higher guidance, spiritual guidance. Maybe you followed some spiritual guidance that you received to get you to this good place. Okay. What else do we need to know here? The Queen of Cups. You're in a very good emotional place. You're someone who's emotional. So you're very intuitive. Very intuitive, very empathetic, very connected to your emotions. Spiritual. With the Hierophant here and the Queen of Cups. The Hierophant is a teacher. Are you a spiritual teacher? You could be. The Empress takes action. So the Empress is about birthing, bringing forth creation, nature, the so I'm feeling like you are with the Empress. The High Priestess is about which comes before the Empress. The High Priestess is your intuition. It's your inner knowing, your understanding of your life and yourself and your subconscious beliefs. You have a higher understanding of, your spiritual, your soul connection, what you come here to do. Okay. So the High Priestess is your inner intuition. The Empress receives from the High Priestess sort of like an understanding of the way of what she needs to create or what she's here to learn or to do. And the Empress does not think about it. She responds to it. So she takes action. The Empress immediately begins to call forth or bring forth the creation. Okay, so I'm feeling here with this Empress energy that you are in a good place. You are stable and you are feeling good about the place that you're in. You have higher understanding with the Hierophant. You have spiritual knowledge and understanding. And with the Queen of Cups, you're highly intuitive and spiritual. And I'm feeling like this is something that is has led you to an understanding that you're supposed to birth something, create something here in your life. You're here for a purpose. And you're very gifted, spiritually gifted. You could be a teacher. You could be here to lead and guide others on their own spiritual path, is what I'm seeing as I'm drawn to the stairs here. So you definitely have a spiritual path. And you're on that spiritual path. Okay, what is the Page of Swords? Tell us about the Page of Swords. What is this curiosity? This is the dynamic that's influencing this situation. The Page of Swords wants more info, is looking to understand. They have clarity and they're seeing things very clearly, but they are not only seeing very clearly, they are seeking to understand a truth. And not only that, get more information. they're a student. So you could be in the phase of being a student of spirituality. Okay. I had 2 cards pop out here. All right. With the Page of Swords, learning something after this Tower. Okay. So the Page of Swords came after a Tower and this Page of Cups energy. So something ended. It feels like there was a tower, and the tower is touching also not just with the Page of Swords, but it's also right underneath the Knight of Cups. So I'm feeling like there was a tower here, an ending. There was an end to a connection that was on a faulty foundation. That's the reason the tower comes. The connection needs to end because there is no foundation, or the foundation is unstable. It's unstable. Okay, so it could be a false reality that you were living in with this Knight of Cups, who's bringing you in the Knight of Cups comes in with an emotional, something emotional. Okay, we're talking about cups here. We're talking about emotions, feelings. The Knight of Cups comes in with something to pull on your heartstrings. This could be gifts. This could be whatever it takes. You know, everyone is different. Everyone's fancy is different. And so, but this is someone who knows how to pull on your heartstrings. But the connection with this person was not on a solid foundation. That you may have been in a false reality with this person. This is someone that I feel saw your innocence. Saw you as, with the Page of Cups, saw you as, someone who could easily, the Page of Cups is sort of that innocent, naive energy. This is someone who saw you as naive, okay, and saw that they could just come in and probably tell you, talk to you sweet, be sweet to you, and easily manipulate you because of your naivete. Because you are naive, okay? Yeah, this is someone who did not really see you as someone who's emotionally strong. What else do we need to know about this Page of Swords? Yeah. So there was grief here. There was grief in this connection. You may be, well, you're not currently grieving this connection. You're in your Empress energy, which is your divine feminine energy. So, but with the Page of Swords, you have an understanding of what happened in this connection. You understand that this person saw you as someone who was easy to manipulate, someone who was maybe in some form of limerence, someone who maybe wants to be in a connection here, as I'm drawn to the 2 hearts, right? The 2 hands with the heart symbol. So maybe someone who really wanted to be in a loving connection, who wanted to be in love, right? But as you can see here, with these 2 hands, they're not solid. If you look at his hand looks solid. These 2 hands with this symbol here is not something that is solid. Okay, so it may be something in the imagination. You may have been someone who imagined a knight in shining armor coming to you with, loving words and gestures. And so there may have been something that you desired, right? But whatever this person came to you with, it wasn't that, okay? It led to this false reality here that had to end in order for you to be able to move on. There was a lesson here with the Page of Swords that you needed to learn in this situation. And so this, you learned from disappointment, from grief, okay, with the 5 of Cups. Okay, what else do we need to know? Is there anything else about the Page of Swords that we need to know? Okay, no. All right, what do we need to know about the Knight of Cups? This is someone that you thought you were in alignment with this Knight of Cups. In the beginning, you may have been in alignment with this Knight of Cups. What else do we need to know? With the Two of Cups here, yeah, this feels like it was a romantic connection, most definitely, with all this Cups energy here. Yeah, we have the Knight of Cups, understanding that you came to this energy. With this energy, you thought you had a connection. There was an initial connection with this energy. And we have a King of Cups here. This person may have presented themselves as someone who was emotionally mature. Yeah, this person did. They presented as someone emotionally mature, someone logical, someone understanding. This person may have made you feel safe with them. But the thing about the King of Cups everyone has a dual nature. Okay, so the King of Cups can not only be someone who is emotionally mature, but they can also be sort of manipulative. Okay, this is someone who knows how to, I'm drawn to his hand here in this bowl, and I'm picturing his hand, kind of caressing this bowl. His hand is caressing this bowl, and I'm getting, this makes me feel like someone who knows how to manipulate your emotions. Okay, the King of Cups is someone who knows how to play with emotions. Okay, is there anything else? And we have the Knight of Wands. Yeah, this is someone who made you feel excited, who made you feel, yeah, this energy, this Knight of Cups is someone who made you feel connected. This is someone who made you feel safe, emotionally safe, and excited to be in this connection. He may have even came off as someone not only emotionally mature, but also spiritual. I feel that very strongly. This person presented themselves as also someone who is spiritual. And you were excited about this. I feel like you met someone who you thought that you could work with. Oh, yeah. I feel like you felt like you met someone you thought you could work with, like this was your match. Because you are this spiritual person and you are someone emotional yourself. You're the Queen of Cups. You thought you had met your King of Cups and you thought he was a match to you. This excited you. Someone who you felt like who you could have stability with, and someone you felt like you could have stability with, and someone who was also on a spiritual journey or on their spiritual path. So you thought that this was your match, your person, someone that you were really excited to work with. All right, tell me about this Eight of Pentacles in reverse. So now I'm drawn to the Eight of Pentacles in reverse because you felt like you could work with this person, but clearly, and this is in the position of the Truth, but clearly at the crossroads, the shift is you realize that you could not work with this person. You realize that this is not someone who was the master, the dedicated person, someone who was working on mastering something. Spirituality is what it really, I'm really feeling spirituality, like you're someone who is spiritually in tune, and you were hoping that this was your person, but you realize something else. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Okay. We have the Six of Cups here. Okay, so with the Six of Cups, we're talking about the past. Okay? We're talking about the past, but what I'm feeling from this energy is I'm feeling that this person reminded you of someone from your past. It probably, I'm feeling like this energy felt familiar to you. Maybe a parent, someone that you grew up with in your past. This took you back to your childhood. This is something, it was a feeling, a very familiar feeling is what I'm feeling here. Especially with it landing on top of the Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is someone who you felt emotionally connected to, but it had to do with the familiarity of your upbringing, of your past, is what I'm feeling here. And with it between, it's on top of the tower as well. It's about the foundation. Maybe you were reliving in some way your past with this person. The feeling was just familiar because what are the words I want to use? It's just like when you meet someone and it feels like you've known them forever. And it's because you meet someone, they feel so familiar to you. It's not about necessarily a knowing, it's about a feeling. Okay, it's about a feeling. It's about your emotions. Okay, this is someone who stirred the emotions of your past. And maybe especially if you grew up in a toxic family, if you had a parent that abandoned you, if you had, let's just say you had a parent who abandoned you, right? Let's say your father left the family when you were very young, you felt abandoned. So you have this abandonment wound from your past, right? And here someone comes in, maybe this could be either gender, but this is someone who maybe even reminds you of the connection that you wish you had with your father. Someone who reminds you of, who gives you the feeling of safety that you've always wanted. Okay. Because of your past. This is something to do with your upbringing here with the Six of Cups. That you wanted to believe was an opportunity to maybe finally be in a stable connection, feeling connected, to your inner child. This was something that definitely stirred your inner child. Okay, I'm not going to stay there. We're going to move on because the story will play out. What else do we need to know about the Eight of Pentacles in reverse? What else does the collective need to know about the Eight of Pentacles in reverse? Yep. We have the Ten of Pentacles here. This is family. This person reminds you of your... This person felt like family. Felt like family. Okay. What else? Yeah. Could have been a father figure. With the King of Pentacles here. You felt like you could have success with this person. They felt like family. You felt very close to them. They felt very familiar to you. And they pulled, this is what you wanted. With it sitting on top of this Page of Cups here, this family, right, that may have not been stable. This feels like the energy of you always wanting to have your own stable family, of you wanting to create a legacy for yourself. It's sitting right on top of the Tower and the Page of Pentacles. This very naive energy. You know, someone who has a beautiful imagination, right? And you may have been imagining this for yourself, and you may have wanted this King of Pentacles in your life, right? This could represent a father figure that you always wanted, like someone who has a vision, who you want to be comfortable with. The King of Pentacles is all about this person has created success and is just living a good life. And they are, you know, dead set on living a good life. This is someone very logical, very understanding, someone who knows how to create security, someone who is secure within himself. This is the ideal partner, right? Especially for a Queen of Cups, someone who is very emotional. So she needs someone who is stable in the material, okay? Because the Queen of Cups is emotional, intuitive, empathetic. And she is drawn, you may be attracted to someone who is very stable, you know, successful, a great provider, someone who can lead you, you know, in the material realm, someone who you can rely on to create comfort and safety for you and stability, most importantly. Okay. And this person, this is what you thought they were, but this person, this is what you imagined this Knight of Cups to be, the King of Pentacles. And he may have even presented this himself this way, but I'm feeling like with this energy, this is what you wanted. But what you realize with the Ace of Swords has clarity. This is clarity, clear seeing, clear as day. You realized that you could not work with this person. This person led to nothing. This individual disappointed you. This individual wasted your time. With the Five of Cups, this is grief. This is someone who caused you a lot of grief. It wasn't what you expected. Okay. It wasn't your dream person. It was unstable. And it left you in grief. And you realized here with the Ace of Swords that this is not someone that you can work with. This is someone who is doing the exact opposite of what you thought. You thought this person was reliable, was a master or mastering something, very good at something. You thought this person was dependable. This is someone stable and dependable, doing the same thing over and over again to master something. This is someone who is building stability. You thought this was your King of Pentacles, but you saw different. You understand. You got clarity about this connection. And you saw that this is someone you could not work with. Okay. So that was the shift. Going from thinking this was your happily ever after. This was going to be your legacy. You're going to build a life with this person. You guys are going to live in comfort. You're going to be the empathetic, intuitive, loving, caring person in this strong, dependable, person who made you feel very safe. This is what you thought it was, but it wasn't. It wasn't. This is someone who manipulated your emotions. Okay. Tell us about the Nine of Wands reverse. What does the collective need to know about the Nine of Wands reverse? Yeah, you are no longer in survival mode. The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. This is someone who has gone through who has been wounded over and over and over and over again, to the point where they are in survival mode. They are highly diligent. They are on edge. They are anxious. They are ready and expecting. And, this is someone who cannot rest because they are the nervous system, like they're ready for the next attack. This is someone who is guarded, someone who you may have been in reactive abuse in this situation because you have been wounded constantly in this relationship. Okay. And so you have been guarded, right? But you are no longer in survival mode. This person had you in survival mode, had you on edge, walking on eggshells. But you are no longer in that energy because you moved to calmer waters. Okay. You moved away from this person. This person is no longer able to emotionally manipulate you because you left. Because you left. Simple as that. You left the turmoil behind. The instability, the walking on eggshells, the being in survival. You left this behind. Okay, what else do we need to know? What else does the collective need to know about this Nine of Wands in reverse energy? Oh, sorry. Card fell on the floor. Okay. You moved on. Here we have the Five of Pentacles showing up again. It came out as a challenge, but it was on the floor. I'm taking it in the upright. Either way, you left behind being left. You moved away from being left out in the cold. Okay? This person had you feeling left out in the cold. Feeling like you had no options. You had no help. But you realize that you do have help. With the Five of Pentacles, all you have to do is look up. You've got the key to the door, and you've got 5 pentacles there. There's hope and there is help. And all you had to do was look up at it, okay? But this is someone who wanted you to believe that you had no help, clearly. If you look at these two different Five of Pentacles, this Five of Pentacles here, you see these two people out in the cold, right? And they're they're going through it clearly, right? And they feel left out in the cold, but they don't understand that if they look up, they're walking right next to a church, okay? And there's a warm glow coming from the church. So there's help inside the church. And not only is there help, there's 5 pentacles here. Okay, so they're feeling like they have nothing. They're feeling depressed and abandoned, right? But there is hope. right here if they just look for it. Here in this Five of Pentacles, you have the key. So you don't even have to knock. The key is right there for you. You have the key to go and unlock the door. Okay. But this person wanted you to feel like there was no key. This person wanted you to feel like there was no hope. You left that behind though. You left feeling like that behind. The feeling of being guarded all the time. Nervous system, you know, out of whack. Yep. So this is what you left behind. Heartbreak, betrayal. Yep. The dreams and hopes that you had for this connection. Clearly, you had to leave this behind. You got clarity and you realized that you had to leave someone behind who made you feel left out in the cold. And you know what? I'm feeling like this is the same energy you felt again in your childhood. Someone leaving you behind, leaving you feeling left out in the cold, and breaking your heart with this heartbreak and betrayal right on top of the past and this the legacy card, the family card. So again, once again, you relived your past with this person. But you thought that you were going to recreate the past in a new way and finally have the family that you wanted, the family that you truly desired to have. You know, to be able to heal your inner child, to be able to recreate a life in the way that you wanted to create it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But there was a lesson here for you to learn. And the lesson is not to stay in a wounded place. The moment you realize that something is not working, you remove yourself from the wounded place. From the place that keeps you on edge. You remove yourself. You get clarity. The moment you see it, you remove yourself with the Six of Swords. And you leave this behind. And even though, you know, in the beginning, when you first leave this connection, you are filled with abandonment. You are filled with heartbreak and betrayal. This is what you feel. This is what you carry. It's still there. You're in these emotions. They're not behind you yet. You see, now you're moving away, but you still have to heal these emotions. The Six of Swords is still moving in the direction because now you have to heal this. But you can't heal this if you don't move away. If you do not get out of the place that wounds you, you cannot heal in the same place where you are wounded. So you left the wounded place. You left the place where you were being wounded over and over and over again with this person. Anything else the collective needs to know about this energy? Okay, what is the conclusion? What is the conclusion of this reading? The conclusion is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords recognizes the truth, sees the cutting truth, and takes action towards resolution. That's what the Knight of Swords does. They see something happening and they take action to resolve the issue. You see, this guy is chasing this motorcycle that's running away. He sees that the motorcycle is running away and he's running after it to catch it, because he understands he can't just let this thing run away. The truth is, I've got to stop this. And he is running after it so he can stop it. And it's the same. This is what the knight does. He recognizes that something has happened, catches it right there, and then takes action towards resolution. And that's what you did. You saw what was happening and you took action. You saw the truth and you took action. I love it. Anything else in the conclusion? Anything else in the conclusion for the collective? What else does the collective need to know? Yep. Oh, I didn't even see her pop out. So we have the Queen of Pentacles. You are creating a comfort. You are taking action and creating comfort for yourself. You look at you in this loving, confident, beautiful energy. You have evolved. You have evolved from this situation. You taking action after seeing the truth, after finding clarity. Clarity gave you what you needed to evolve and become this Queen of Pentacles, someone who knows who she is, someone who's very grounded. You are no longer on edge. You are grounded in your own beingness. You are abundant, and you look at you, you're glowing, beautiful. And not only that, you are now in a position where, because you have healed, because you took action and you've healed from this, you're blessed. Everything that you touch, everything that you pour your energy into, it flourishes. You are now in this beautiful place. And not only that, you are protecting your peace. You are protective of this place that you are in. Nobody else can come in and have you in this energy anymore. You are protected. You see her, she's in a bubble. She's in a bubble in her namaste, okay? Protected. Her energy is protected. She's protected from whatever comes at her. So you are not only abundant and just creating in a very comfortable place, knowing who you are, confident and just beautiful energy, and adding to everything that comes into your life. The Queen of Pentacles takes care of her environment. So you are now in a very abundant place. We started off in the Empress. You are in your Empress energy, right? The Empress is the divine feminine. So the Empress embodies all of the queens, all of them. And this is your energy because you learned your lesson. You learned to not stay in the place where you're being wounded. You learned to see the truth, walk away, take action, okay, by moving away, by leaving, and you did that. And so now you get to rest in your Queen of Pentacles energy, and you are highly protected, protecting your peace. And no one can ever, you have clarity, no one can ever fool you or manipulate your emotions again, because you have learned the lesson. All right, guys, that's your reading. That is your reading. And on the bottom of the deck, someone is feeling very burdened by this, okay? But you are done carrying burdens. This is a 10. A 10 is an ending, but it's also a new beginning with the 1, okay? This is the end of you carrying burdens, of you being burdened by people who want to fool you, who want to wound you, who want to hurt you, disappoint you. You're done with those burdens. So I just want to say congratulations. Congratulations to you. And you know what? Thank you for joining me for the reading. I hope it was helpful. I hope it was insightful. If you enjoy this type of reading, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more so that you can be notified when I post these readings. And also, if you feel so inclined, I'd love to hear your story, if this is relative to you, in the comments. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful day.